Steelers Nation, and welcome to a brand new episode of Steel City Insider Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jeremy Ritz, alongside the Jim Wexell, the insider himself. Jim, great to see you. And where do we begin? I don't even know where to begin, Jim.
Tell me how pissed off you are, Jeremy.
All right, well, because this is YouTube, I'm going to censor myself. But Jim, on a scale of 1 to 10, the pissed off meter, I'm a 12. I'm not even an 11. I'm a 12.
You were out there chanting, weren't you?
I wasn't at the game, but I was in the confines of my own living room with my young children, who I am raising to be proper Steelers fans. And I controlled myself, so you'd be proud of me. But internally, the dialogue was not good.
You and all your kids were chanting.
We were not saying fire Tomlin. We were not booing Renegade. I was surprised that they played it, but it's just more just the what the Steelers you expect as a fan, and maybe this is being spoiled, but the gritty, tough defenses who shut down the run, who are competitive. They're bruisers, they're bullies, bully ball. They get to the quarterback. They have a strong running attack, but there's just nothing to look at and be hopeful about. Jim, change my mind. Give me some hope.
I don't know how much I could change your mind, but I'm going to give the defense a slight pass, and that the offense is so pitiful. I mean, what was the time of possession? 49 minutes to 12 or something?
It was a debacle.
So, the defense, that stopping the run is not a thing, it seems. I did like some of the things. I did like that 5-1-5. I call it a 5 because, TJ and the other outside linebacker were out there. But they had a nose tackle with a nickel. That was a different change. And, man, every time I monitored it, it worked. I stopped really paying that close attention later in the game, but I liked it. And I thought Y.A. Black played really well. I mean, closer look might show some turning that Keanu Benton was getting turned, and the guy with 3 names and the hyphen from Kansas City, he was getting turned. I don't know what kind of potential he has, but I thought Y.A. Black made 9 tackles.
Wow.
The high for a defensive lineman this year.
Yeah.
And I want to go back through all the box scores to see when the last time a rookie defensive lineman had that many tackles. But, I mean, I went back to last year's playoff game. Cam had 10 tackles in the playoff game. So there must be something about going for 700 rushing yards that leads to a lot of tackles for the D-line.
It must be. And, yeah, Black is a bright spot. Someone who can be developed.
He's got to become the nose tackle. He's got to.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't dislike Benton, but he's out of position, and you got to get him off the nose.
Yeah.
So, and Peyton Wilson can't get off a block, and then Patrick Queen got hurt. I'm not as down on Queen as everybody else, but I mean, he went down at the 2-minute warning of the first half. So I'm like, oh, since the score was 7-3 Steelers right at halftime, I thought, well, crap, I bet you Queen, the loss of Queen had a lot to do with the running game now. They had 123 or 128 in the first half of their 249. And a 2-minute warning, they only got 15 more yards after he left. So, I mean, they were gouging him too.
Yeah.
And I like him. I don't dislike him. I'm really disappointed in Peyton Wilson this year. I expected so much more. And, when he ran that 22-mile an hour sprint, the fastest linebacker ever recorded. That was exciting, but man. I like Nick Herbig as a middle linebacker. Again, I know he's probably their best edge rusher too. Man, you want to get Nick Herbig on the field in that 3 outside linebacker set? Make him your inside linebacker.
Yeah.
I mean, he's rugged. And the other rugged guy, the other guy who hits with real thought, is Jalen Ramsey, and he's disappearing in a Minka Fitzpatrick kind of way.
He is.
You know what I mean? I don't think it's his fault. Yeah, they're going to have to look at scheme. They're going to have to look hard at that. Your offense, I don't know if you call that a scheme.
I don't know what the hell that is. I don't. And I say that in all seriousness because looking at the rushing totals was at 249 by the Bills. The Steelers had a total of 58 yards, and it's just it's the inverse Steelers. The Bills Steelered the Steelers, in all facets. It's just and you're right too. The offense was so inept. I don't think it matters who they put in at quarterback, but the only hope that I'm holding on to is that they need that young athletic talent at that position. And the more that we see Aaron Rodgers in there, or even Mason Rudolph, and they're trying their best. It's not that they're out there trying to lose, but this team just needs a refresh and to innovate and come into the new age of football. And, adhering to tradition, which I obviously believe in for this team, but it feels like it's time for some changes to be made, or it's just going to be, Matt and I talked last week, Groundhog Day.
I mean, the offensive coordinator, I like Arthur Smith. I think he's really smart. And when I talk to him on the sideline, it's much more impressive than when he addresses us in the media. And when I watch him answer questions with us, I think to myself, I hope this guy's 10 times better than this when he addresses his team. Because I don't understand what the hell he's talking about. I mean, try to read one of those transcripts. I think he might be too smart. He seems like a genius. It might be overthinking things. And at 4th and 2, that was designed to fool the Bills into showing an outside run. What if the Bills aren't that smart? Apparently they're not. They all converged easily on the scat deck. And I don't know if you've read my columns. I just, too much Kenneth Gain.
Yeah.
He's not Llewellyn Moore. I get that he's somewhat, I mean, he's okay. But I don't want to see him on first down. I really don't want to see him on third down when Jalen's rolling, because Jalen can pass block better. Jalen can catch really well. Maybe not as well as his Gainwell, but. And so 4th and 2, Jalen got to be in there. Don't, he outthought himself. Arthur Smith outthought himself. He probably stayed up all late thinking of this design with all his big boys going right. Nobody fell for it. I mean, that's probably why the Bills are so bad defensively, is because they're stupid and just guessing.
Yeah.
And you tried to sucker an idiot. Idiot's not going to fall for it. And I don't mean, I don't know if Rousseau's an idiot. I don't know. But man, they didn't fall for any kind of genius plot.
And Jim, in what world, and maybe, again, I'm not saying that I'm some football genius. I'll steal your term. And
no, don't. See, you're supposed to pretend you're one on the.
I'm real. Pat, I'm going to mess his name up.
Fryer, go ahead.
Yes. 17 snaps.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
But John,
they're so determined to make something out of Jonnu.
It's not there. And then I think that's a Arthur Smith thing, because that was his guy.
Yeah.
So
at least Darnell's getting his snaps.
He's an animal. Yeah. He looks well.
They started the game with an animal play for Metcalf. I love that.
Yeah.
If you're going to throw short, throw it to these animals and let them rumble. After the first play, I don't know how many times they tried to throw long to him, I guess. I can't remember. The offense had so few plays. I mean, is that going to be Tomlin's excuse? Well, we didn't have enough plays. We didn't have enough plays because you're giving the ball to Kenneth Gainwell.
Yeah. And the question I have for you, Jim, is just with your scope of Steelers history, and I know that I think you talked a little bit about it in your column. You're just my opinion, but comparable team or era to what we're seeing now? I know they're 6-6. They're still in playoff contention heading into Baltimore, but it looks bleak. But are there historical examples of teams that were in similar situations, and what happened following these types of season, and how long did it take for recovery? Because
Well, I think of 2000. I mean, I wrote this last year when the run defense was falling apart. And I think of 2000 when they were gashed repeatedly with the third round pick. They tried to make a nose tackle out of Kendrick Clancy, and they tried to make a nose tackle out of Chemo. And then in 2001, they drafted Casey Hampton. And I think the following year, they signed Chris Hope. But, nose tackle is not an answer right now. There has to be a better answer than this. It's just too light. And the two defensive linemen they have are trying to rip past the blocking instead of standing them up and letting the linebackers. There's been a number of bad years.
yeah,
And rebounds have happened. I don't know. I'm not down on the direction. It's not like they have not rebuilt, have not paid attention to youth. And the squawking about the defense getting overpaid, there's nobody on offense to pay. I mean, Metcalf just came this year. And I like the fact that they throw a lot of money up front at these guys. The cap is in good shape. So the cap's in good shape for the future. 12 draft picks next year. I like the last 3 drafts. Art Rooney is not about the money. He cares. Trust me. He's just different than his dad. His dad was special. Dan Rooney was special. Art, the senior, had his positives. Art, too, was raised to be a lawyer to help out in a lawyer-infested world right now.
Mhm.
It was necessary. But to say he doesn't care is wrong. I mean, I know everybody wants him to fire Tomlin. And he's so quiet. Nobody's going to know what he's done behind the scenes with coordinators, if anything.
yeah.
So
So
I do think something needs to be done, especially with the offensive coordinator.
yeah,
Like I said, I like Arthur, and he seems smart, but maybe too smart for his own good. Yeah, he just isn't a good communicator with us.
yeah.
So I got to believe in front of a team, he's got some scratching heads out there.
So just looking at the past coordinator hires, and I know some people might make the argument, well, when they hired Matt Canada, he was kind of an innovative forward thinker, but it seems like there's a reluctance to bring in one of these bright young offensive minds that really just challenges convention in terms of offense. Am I just
I like the quarterback coach. I like the receivers coach. They're young, seem to be innovative. I wouldn't dismiss either one of those two.
Mhm.
To say that Tomlin's got a big ego and doesn't, that's just ludicrous.
Mhm.
And as bad as it's looking this year, he's not stupid. I mean, he's gonna make. I gotta assume he's gonna make an offensive team for sure. He's gonna look at his own defensive alignment and schemes that he's running. Just something's not working. He's got, this is a guy that he talked about. I asked him about it. He smiled like he knew, and that I said the smaller, faster offenses get with all the high-powered passing game, the defenses are answering that, and now it's time to come back with a power run game. And he's like, yeah, I know. And it was like he drafted Najee Harris. He drafted James Conner. He drafted that offensive line that was so powerful in early 2010s. And the offensive line now, it's getting there. There's a lot of things to like. Broderick Jones was even playing better. Still a piece or two away. They could really use a big guards. They need an animal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Zach Frazier's an animal, but he's not big. He's not big. Let's get some more size up there. The running backs, as much as I like Jalen Warren, he's not the high pedigree guy that's, that we're going to see this week. or that we saw last week. I don't know what round James Cook was drafted. That guy's got it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a little surprised that he is now stuck with that small pass defending defense. You know, he really concentrated on pass defenders at inside linebacker, and they're getting gouged. He's got a pass rushing nose tackle who's getting gouged.
Yeah.
I like Y Black. I like Derek Harmon. Derek Harmon's curse is that he's always going to be compared to Jackson Dart. Even if they had drafted Jackson Dart, he would still be sitting the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the offense, I'd just like to see more power. You're going to say you're an attrition-oriented offense that's going to run the ball and line up with 3 tight ends, 3 tackles. You got to run better than that.
So
Against the Bulls.
yeah,
Good.
it brings us to Baltimore this weekend, and again, it is as abysmal as this season feels. Their Steelers are still 6-6, Baltimore 6-6. They have a chance to win and regain first place. It doesn't seem likely, but what do you anticipate this weekend? Do you think this team can make some adjustments and turn it around, or is the bottom about to fall out?
Well, you know, hopefully Rodgers can go under center for one. Adjustments. I mean, Rodgers has to play better. You know, he's not connecting with Russell Wilson at all. More Fryer moves, you know, adjustments. You know, they can bounce back. Baltimore hasn't been playing well. Lamar Jackson's not running well. Something's wrong with him. I still say revert to your regular season game plan of drilling Lamar, even when he doesn't have the ball, when you can, you know, on those RPOs. So,
yeah. Well, I think this is the first cast where it feels like we're lost in the abyss right now.
Wild tied for first place.
Wild tied for first place. It's a hollow first place because I mean, really, if you look at that 6-6 record, and I know your record is what you said it says you are, but you know, you go look at that Patriots game, all those turnovers, fumbles.
If the Patriots are what, 9-2?
Yeah.
That was at New England?
Yep.
Yeah, where they needed turnovers.
Yeah.
The Bears, they could have beat the Bears. They lost by 3 points on the road with their backup quarterback to the best team in the NFC.
Yep.
They beat the Colts. So, I mean, it's possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want to say it's inconsistent or a matter of effort. They just get their holes gouged.
Yeah, I don't think it.
Is that a lot of fun?
I mean, mine in the gutter.
Go on. Go on.
Yeah. I don't think it's a matter of effort because those guys are out there trying. I think that's where you know,
the question that was put to TJ Watt was what happened in the second half? He goes, we were flat. Everybody's saying that they were flat for the game. I never buy that.
Yeah.
They got flat.
Yeah.
After they were out there for 115 plays. Yeah.
I think it's got to be schematics because there is talent on the defense. The personnel I think is there, but Derek Harmon, I think
you just talked about where there wasn't talent, where it's getting gouged.
Yeah.
Those 2 inside linebackers. I hate to run down Queen because he's taking a beating right now and he's not that bad, but I like what they're doing with their secondary.
Yeah.
Asante Samuel's going to stay up.
Yeah.
They got 4 quarters. They got 4 quarters now to go into next year with.
Harmon's just got to stay healthy because the games where he hasn't played are the games where this team has gotten gashed. And not to say that he's the savior because teams are still running the ball, but he makes it not as noticeable. So I think you definitely have a find there in Harmon.
That's interesting. And I like Black. Yeah.
He's out again this weekend, so we probably expect 270 yards from. I hate to be a cynic, but man, it's hard to be optimistic about anything.
That's all right.
So Jim, as we wrap up here, care for a prediction, or are you going to save that for your column later this week?
Well, I assume I haven't looked at the numbers. I don't know what's wrong with the Ravens. I'm just going to pick them because the Ravens are at home, you know, and the Steelers are not playing. And then I would expect the Steelers to beat the Ravens in the return game. And it's going to be a matter of which of these teams loses more games the rest of the way.
And the Steelers have a pretty difficult schedule coming up, and the Ravens do as well. So there's always that.
Is it difficult? Cleveland, Miami,
I mean, with the way this team is playing, and that
the
Cleveland,
Ravens twice. How good are the Ravens?
I mean,
Who else they got?
Detroit.
How good is Detroit?
Against this team, the 6-6 team, it's hard
I
to.
don't know. The Steelers should have beat the Bears with Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just dejected at this point. Talk about the stages of anger, I guess. But at the end of this episode, I'm feeling defeated.
How are you going to get any clicks acting like that?
I know.
Well, let's click on out of here, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, Jim, thanks so much.
You got a prediction?
I got to go with just another pounding. That it's going to be. I just don't see them making the changes. I'm seeing a 200 more yards.
What changes do you think they should make?
I don't think they can at this point. I think there are schematic issues on that defense. Harmon's out. That's not beneficial in any way. The Ravens see a wounded team that they can take advantage of. It's in Baltimore. It's going to be tough.
This should be a simple. I should ask Casey Hampton. What do you think of this move, Casey? Put Black at nose tackle and Benton at defensive end? Or is that too difficult of a change? Casey, go, man. They say push your man left, you push your man left. They say push your man right, push your man right.
Yeah.
They say nothing.
It ain't nothing.
I'd like to see Black on the nose.
Well, maybe we could.
But they don't even. How many times do they use a nose tackle anyway?
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it here for this episode.
All right, gang.
Insider, Jim, have a great
Don't let it get to you. It's just sports. Get with your family. Have a good holiday.
That's right. All right, take care.
Of course.
There was this man named Johnny.